Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. And listen, man, this show is about sinners. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Yo, I made you a moderator. I don't know why your wrench not popping up, but I'ma fix that. Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Highlight Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. He got good content. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Leave Diggy in the chat. This is what up to the world. What up with the world? Shout to Ice in the chat too. Shout to Leaf and Ice. Well, basically, this is like about movies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just other content outside of basketball, just to kind of, you know what I mean, leave basketball for a second. But y'all know I'm gonna be back with another stream later on talking about basketball. Y'all know how I do. Shout to J1. He said salute Breezy. Shout to you, bro. And thank you for, you know what I'm saying, keeping this KVN who run the city fan game thing alive. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, Nets fans is the best fans. Y'all already know that. Just wanted to talk about music and just how important music is. And you know what I'm saying. As I was looking, as I was coming on here, I seen a clip on Facebook that I'm gonna show you guys to further my point. But you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to talk about what sinners was, right? So these are the first part is pretty much who made it. But this is the plot. In 1932, identical twins of World War One veterans Smoke and Stackmore returned to Clarksdale, Mississippi. After years spent working with the Chicago outfit, using money stolen from gangsters, they purchased a sawmill from racist landowner Hardwood to start a juke joint for the local black community. Their cousin Sammy, an inspired guitarist, joins them despite his pastor father Jedediah's warning that blues music is supernatural. Now, the whole thing about this is why I wanted to have this conversation about the music being supernatural and how the blues music is supernatural. Now, see, the thing with me is that the blues music, in my opinion, was more heavy with instruments, and it was to the emotion was articulated through the instrument. That's what blues was. And it was blues because we were going through pain. It was my people. We were going through pain and sorrow. You know what I'm saying? We were going through for lack of a better word, the blues. You know what I mean? And I think they coined the term the blues for a while. So basically, I feel like with the blues, we were able in the movie. It explains how the blues is able to connect to these energies that can be, you know, positive or negative, right? So I'm gonna keep reading. They said the twins recruit pianist Delta Slim as a performer, Smoker Strange, wife Andy as a cook, local Chinese shopkeeper. So basically, this is the staff and how it all played out. And they're talking about it. But let me keep reading. So it says the twins recruit pianist Delta Slim as a performer, Smoke his strange wife Annie as a cook, local Chinese shopkeeper couple Grace and Bo Chow as supplies, and field worker Cornbread as a bouncer. Annie believes her hoodoo practices kept the twins safe, but Smoke doubts them for not preventing their infant daughter's death. Stack runs into his white passing ex-girlfriend Mary, who resents Stack for abandoning her, which Stack later claims was for her protection. Meanwhile, Irish immigrant vampire Remick shelters from Choctaw vampire hunters with a married Klansman couple who he turns into vampires. Now, y'all heard me read this, but I don't. If you haven't seen it, you don't know how interesting this is. Basically, it's kind of like the Native Americans from the Choctaw tribe hunted vampires because they knew what they were, and they looked to kill them because they knew what the vampire entity was. And yeah, it's very interesting. You know, I don't know how much entertainment I'm actually giving. You know what I'm saying? The situation, but there's a scene, and even in the beginning of the movie, they show the scene, but you don't notice that scene until you actually see the movie. But I'm gonna see if I could pull that up. Let me see if I can pull that up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. As the scenes, as I show you the scenes, I'll explain what it is, and we'll further the conversation like that. We got my guy, This Is JTV, on a panel with us. Shout out to This Is JTV. You seen Sinners too, right? You seen that, right, Jay?
Yeah, I saw it.
All right. Yeah, before we get to that, matter of fact, let me get to that first. Let me get to that first. But I just so yeah, this part right here where I was talking about the twins recruit, this whole part right here, I'm gonna explain it. And basically I'll explain the movie clip by clip. Obviously, I'll be talking through it to avoid copyrights, and you know, I'm just me and Jay. We're gonna talk about the scene as it plays. So we'll stop and go. Hit that like button, share, subscribe button. We out here. Right. Now let me show y'all that. You see that? He knocking on the door. He's avoiding the sun for one, and he's avoiding the Choctaw tribe. That's what I just read to y'all in the plot. He's a vampire, and the son did that to his back, not the Choctaw tribe. He's a vampire. That's why he you know what I mean, he looked like that. And on top of that, uh to the what I read, you know what I'm saying? The vampire, you know what I mean? This is how the movie starts. I want y'all to know that. This is what we see as soon as the movie starts. So case in point is the vampire myth is not just known in one community. It's known by the Choctaw tribes, it's known by Native Americans, known by Irish, it's known by all over the world, people cultures all over the world. This is something that's keep being heard. So we don't know how much validity to give to it, but again, for context, we're gonna just press play.
Back up.
Yeah, I gotta help. I thought I could trust them, but they tried to kill me.
Slow down.
Who's trying to kill you?
Choctaw.
Sure wasn't just some fair-skinned niggers. Ain't no Injuns around here for miles.
Oh, God. Oh, they took my wife. Oh, God. I'm a coward, ain't I? Hey, I got go.
Now, basically, he's playing on their emotions. You know what I'm saying? Try and making it seem like he's the victim when he's actually the attacker. You want to say something to this, Jay, or you want to keep it going?
You can keep it going.
All right.
Oh, them dirty engines meant to rob me. They ain't get all of it. Y'all can have it. Just don't let them hurt me no more.
Every first scene of the movie, y'all. Every first scene. We got the first scene.
Evening, ma'am. We're in pursuit of someone very dangerous. He might have come onto your property. Have you seen anyone recently?
No. Bert!
Is he in there with you, ma'am? He's not what he seems. God forbid you let him into your home. And if so, we need to act now.
Kilia! Tushpa! Ikaw kilo kayo sa ang tushpa tsuka kilona!
Jihoya, Chiapiso, Chitakla, Chigi.
See, he looked back and he seen the sunset and he said, "Yo, we got a dip like a chick."
We out.
Yo,
May God be with you.
facts. Yo, shout out to Bright in the building, man. Bright TV. I did an interview with Bright TV. He got a song called. I mean, he's here, man. But let me introduce you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Bright TV. You know what I'm saying? He does music. Y'all could tap into his YouTube at Bright TV. We did an interview, say maybe like 3 weeks back. Dope interview. You know what I'm saying? We broke down the bars to his song. Summertime song. It was right before Mother's Day. I remember that. I told him it was a Mother's Day song. I meant that. Shout out to Bright
Right.
TV. Thank you for joining the panel. You know what I'm saying? We just we gonna recap and then we're gonna get into the music side of it. But how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Yo, it's good to be back, man. Good to be back, Breezy. Thanks for having me again, man. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely go tune in. We gonna start it off right. Subscribe to Bright TV where everything is lit. I got that new single out, Rock With You. It's definitely one of those bangers. You know, y'all need to play that. Go hear that if you didn't hear that already. This is what we're doing. This is the movement. But yeah,
right.
but recap me, because this was dope. This whole movie was it was a good movie, and you know I see why I finally got to watch it in the entirety, and I see why everybody was saying this is a dope movie. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, and it's his brother, right? That's the director.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan, that's the director. It is kind of like a 1-2 punch with Spike Lee and Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? That's his lead
Oh,
actor. That's the lead director. You know what I mean?
okay, all right. It was a dope collaboration. That's a dope collaboration right there. But yeah, this right here was a great setup. You know what I mean? Because like you said, as soon as it was sundown, they knew what time it was. Like they know when they hunting these things, they got a better chance of when it's daylight outside.
All facts, all facts. Oh, just can y'all just connect the dots? I remember seeing you and Jay talking about connecting the dots in the chat where we did the interview with you, Bright TV. Jay, you know his
Oh,
cousin.
oh, that Diddy cousin.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh
Yeah, no
yeah.
doubt, no
I
doubt.
got a lot of family, bro. But
Yeah,
right, super fast.
nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Diddy, that's my man. They're
That's
for
a
50
yeah.
grand for mad years. That's the
Yeah.
OG.
Shout out to Finn, shout out Cover, shout out to Andy family. You know we in here deep. You know, shout out to Barry. You know, we like you know what I mean. Listen, this is what we doing right now.
Right. And
Yeah.
Diddy's a superstar barber extraordinaire, too. On top of that.
Super fat. That's what I said. If you know, you know. If you don't know, now you know, baby.
Word.
Word.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
shout
that's
to
super
him.
fat.
If he could pull up, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Um,
let me see if I
yeah.
can get him on the line. I
But I'm
definitely
I'm gonna get back to the content right now. Let's see
let's
where it
go.
goes. I want to get to the music part of it, but we ain't there yet. Hold up.
Bert! Engines came and went. Bert! Bert!
Bird dead.
Bert!
Oh, he's just resting.
He's all better now.
Hey, baby. Don't cry.
Hey there.
It ain't a... How may I help you folks?
Oh, we heard tale of a party. Drink, food, blues music, and the like.
You did?
We like to drink. We happen to be musicians, and we walked here, so.
Now, Cornbread is thorough right here because he know goddamn well ain't nobody tell that dude about no party. He looking at him like, nah, I don't know nobody that would tell you about this party. As a matter of fact, their job is to not tell you about this party. So I like how Cornbread was on point in this scene because he just tried to sashay his way up there and waltz up to the juke joint, acting like he belonged there. You don't belong there. So Cornbread questioning him was I like the authenticity in that. But I'm chatting. But y'all want to say something to this, or you want me to just keep it going?
No, that was a super fact. Like you said, this is at that time where we not even rocking with him like that. This is just us affair. So he already on point with it. Like, bro, who you? Ain't nobody tell you about this. We know. Ain't nobody telling you nothing. We keeping this is under wraps. You know what I mean? So he was on point with it. He was definitely on point.
Word. Let me keep it going. Unless Jay want to say something to it.
Keep it going.
We hungry as dogs.
Woof, woof.
You wouldn't mind us coming in now, would you?
I think y'all in the wrong place.
Yeah, you had a wrong place.
You fellers must be the owners of this establishment.
That's right. And you are?
Name's Remick. This here's Joan and Bert.
It's not y'all all right?
Oh, and you. Must be that voice I heard from out here. Oh, it was beautiful.
Goddamn beautiful voice.
Even through these walls.
Goddamn be you.
Where y'all from?
Just down the road.
And how far is that?
North Carolina.
Y'all claim?
Sir. Well, no, we believe in equality and music. We just came here to play. Spend some money.
He didn't say he
have
wasn't.
a good time.
You just said,
Here,
sir.
I'll show you. I pick for
Terrible. Not fair. You don't get no play in my ride. You don't get no play in my ride. Now,
They're about to tell you what they're about to do to him.
exact. Oh, you right. We could bar breakdown because they said about robbing him or some shit, right?
They said they picked poor Robin clean.
Yeah.
Exact. Damn.
Yeah.
Singing about what they fitting to do.
Yeah, poor Robin.
Yeah, Paul Robin. Yeah, Paul Robin.
Yeah, man. It's fucked up that happened to Robin like that.
They did him dirty.
Right.
They did him real dirty because they
To make a song about it is crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy because that ain't had nothing to do with no like peace or like we came to party or none of that. Like I know we, and like I said, this is the era of like the blues and all that, but bruh, like blues, that was disgusting. Like we talking about picking them clean, like yo, wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's demonic. That's all the way demonic. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just like, wow, like, and they was so serious about it. Like they was
just singing that shit like it wasn't nothing.
That was crazy. That was super crazy.
Like fuck wrong with them?
Where y'all from, bro? Like where y'all from?
Right, they would have never gotten that party.
Yeah, yo. I think that shit is hilarious because they didn't allow him in the party, and to further it, spoiler alert, they got in with the woman that's supposed to be black, but she looked white and all of that, this and that, the drop of blood make you black, this and that, whatever. Case in point is, they knew, everybody at that door knew not to trust them. It was a dead issue. And don't trust them. Now, obviously, it's a movie, right? And it makes sense for, not for them to do what they doing because it's a movie. But a lot of the times that shit, you know what I'm saying, could be a slippery slope. I think this movie says a lot. They say a picture speak 1,000 words. This a motion picture, so it's speaking a whole lot of words. I'm gonna just leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? But we could y'all want to break down this, but I mean, I think y'all did a pretty good job on what it was.
I think that's all they say. Is there any other words to the song? That's all I remember.
That was.
They just kept saying that shit over and over again, and that shit was stuck in my head while I'm watching the shit. Like, what they say? They picked poor Robin clean. That's kind of crazy.
That was self-explanatory,
right?
I don't know if you ain't pick up on that. Like, you should already I don't know if you remember Uncle Roscoe. You know, you remember Uncle Rocco, don't trust them no niggers over there.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of those
For
moments.
Yeah,
Boondocks.
you're
That
right.
was one of those moments where they say, like, they told you exactly what it was, and there wasn't no sugarcoating it.
Right.
So
Don't
they was,
trust none of
Mm-hmm.
them niggas.
yeah, you supposed to pick up on that and be like, nah, lead them dudes lead them right outside. Lead them right outside where they
Mm-hmm.
at. Word.
Yeah, but again, they did pick up on it. The whole thing was her going out there chatting, trying to act like she, you know what I mean, want to be the bridge where they could meet. Hell, we got a juke joint, they don't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If they want to, they could play their music outside. They could go wherever they
Man,
was
they could
going
go
at.
play their
They don't
music
know
to the white
nobody here
people.
acting like he ain't making it seem like somebody invited. You could go. Who invited you? Talking about could you come in? Ain't nobody invite you. It's an only invite situation. Take your ass up the road. But we not finna listen to this song. That song is trash. I'm not listening to that song. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not doing.
We not bigging that
That.
up. We not promoting that right now.
Nah, that shit get. I'm serious. That shit
Said
get
they
Don't get
get
no.
no
no play with my
advertisement.
boy.
Get no
No play with my
advertisement.
Word.
boy.
Yeah, nah, I get it. It's like, cause come on, man. First of all, it was. That's not. This is blues, man. Like every song, it really stands for something. You know what I mean? Blues was all about what people was really going through. They just that was like just a straight demonic song where it's like what they was doing to people. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and then even double backtrack to what you said. That was more like, you know, with the white girl. I can't remember her name right now, but with the white girl going out there to talk to them, that was really that white privilege
Mary, I
thing.
think her name was Mary in the movie.
Yeah, it was. You absolutely right. You absolutely right. I think it was, and
Yeah.
that was really that white privilege. So you thinking that because you certain skin color that they wasn't gonna hurt you too.
Now you know what it remind me of? What Muhammad Ali said in that interview. He said, just because I might think one snake is friendly, don't mean I'm fitting to trust 1,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we trust you. That's it. Don't try to bring them in. Nah, you cool. We don't know what they on. And again, it's not when you watch the movie, you see how Mary went to see what it was, and she see they wasn't, you know what I'm saying, trustworthy. And she left this and she pulled out the strap, like, yo, I'll buck you. What the fuck you talking about? And she ain't say that. Go watch the movie. Listen,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not telling y'all what the character said verbatim. I'm just parting. I'm parting right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta actually go see the movie. It was a good movie. I give this movie like a 10 out of 10, bro. I don't know if I could have seen a better movie. But I
yeah.
wanted to get back to what Bit Bright said about blues, because it says it right here. Blues music is supernatural. Now, what I was saying about that is, and I wanted to kind of pivot to you and Jay. Is blues music is supernatural, basically saying that the energy that, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, you could connect with or resonate with when you doing the blues music can connect with the supernatural. Now the reason why I felt like it's true is because of frequencies and energy. Now I'm only saying that to say you got, how you say, the blues being articulated, the instruments is articulating the emotions of the
Mm-hmm.
human. You know what I'm saying? So the human is using the instrument, and they put, imagine they playing a sax, and they just all of the shit they got to go through from work. It ain't even work, it's slavery, and all of the shit that they be feeling, all that shit pent up inside them because they can't talk, can't say what they want to say. All of this pain that they felt that they couldn't speak on, they put it in an instrument, and that's why they call it the blues. You feel me? That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Now I'm saying that to say that, yeah, that's why they call it the blues, and that's how they connect with the supernatural. That's a real energy. You feel what I'm saying? And based on the music that you produce, you connect with positive energy or negative energy. Which is why I like artists like This Is JTV and Bright TV making music that's, you know what I'm saying, positive, and it make you want to be give you a good vibe. You know, good vibrations. That's ultimately what I'm saying. That music produces vibrations, and it's the artist's to I would say duty to you know what I'm saying, make sure they are authentic, and also you know what I mean, staying at the top or the highest version of themselves frequency wise, not lowering their vibration but raising the vibration. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to y'all, because that's what y'all do with y'all music. Shout out to This Is JTV and shout out to Bright TV.
Facts. And this lady, I just wanted to add on to that. Like, blues was the like the I think the purest form of the music, where you really got to say what you really felt. You know what I mean? Like it was untapped. If you felt like whatever you felt like saying, you expressed that. You know what I mean? So blues out of all the genres, you know what I mean? I mean, I think we pushed the envelope with a lot with all of the genres of music, but blues itself was like a real untapped genre of music where, like I said, you whatever how you're feeling and whatever's going on in the world, this is what you're saying. So it's very different from any other genre that has been tampered with and tampered with and how you say they tell you what you can say and what you can't say. Like the envelope has already been pushed all the way with the blues.
My fault, I was on mute. Absolutely, I agree with you. Jay, you got anything on this?
I'm just listening, bro.
I copy that. Um, when it come down to again the plot, you know what I'm saying. I'll speak to that. The two. Well, I read that part. On the joints opening night, Sammy, Delta Slim, and Pearline, a singer with whom Sammy becomes enamored, perform on stage. Sammy's music is transcendent, unknowingly summoning spirits of both past and future to join the crowd. However, the performance also attracts Remick and his vampire thralls, who offer money and music in exchange for entry. Smoke suspicious refuses. The twins realize that their patrons' reliance on company script make it impossible for the joint to be profitable. Reasoning with Stack that the outside income is necessary, Mary meets Remick outside, where she is turned. Now, this is another thing too. Letting people win because of the money. The only reason why it was an interest to let them in is to charge them. But look how much it cost them. And this is what they be saying about the music game. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta do too much to get in. You like, and I seen Jadakiss sidebar. He was talking how it take 15 streams to equal one like fucking record sale. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say that why artists have to do so much to look for the money. You know what I'm saying? The money should be there, the support should be there. But I don't want to deviate too much from what my point is. And that's basically the only reason why the twins realize that their patrons' reliance on company script makes it impossible for the joint to be profitable. They won't make no money. Reasoning with Stack that the outside income is necessary. Marry meets Remick outside. Before money was an issue, before they did a deal with the devil, they tried to connect the money. Money is connected to the devil with this shit. That's what the script say. Now, I'm not saying that the music, I'm not taking it that far. Oh, let me put the for entertainment purposes only on here, man. I'm saying, I'm trying to catch me up. I'm trying to get me caught up in no type of shit. Now I'm saying, like, so again, I just feel like this is what it is. Like, this is what the script is. I thought this is the script, and the actors were asked to kind of bring this script to life, and they did that. You know what I'm saying? They did that. I did, but again, y'all heard me rate a 10 out of 10. How y'all rate this movie? Jay, we go to Jay first. And
Honestly,
do you think what I'm
I
saying is a stretch about what I said? How you feel about what I said?
Honestly, I like the message to the movie. I didn't like it as much as you did. I'll probably give it like an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 7.5 out of 10, 7.8. I don't know. I feel like it was a little predictable for me.
Okay.
Like, but that's just me. I just be watching movie. But it's not. It was a bad movie, but I don't put it as one of them greatest movies of all time or nothing. But it was a good message to it. I think it was predictable to me. Like soon as I seen the two smoke and stack, I was I was like, yo, the one with the red hat gonna die.
Yeah.
It was just it was something about something that he said. It was no like because I was watching it with somebody and I'm like, she's like, how you know you're gonna die? And I'm like, there can only be one. like I knew,
Yeah.
like I knew it was gonna happen eventually, but I didn't know when it was gonna happen.
But
But
what about the duality of it? I think that was intentional. I think that not
what
necessarily you catching on that fast, but the differences between the two brothers and one hot, one cold type shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean,
It definitely was some of that. And it definitely shows that cooler heads will prevail. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. It also depends on how you look at prevail, because you could die or you could live forever.
look,
Well,
with twins, I look at it with twins in any frame of it, it's always going to be that. Is most of the time they are opposites. A lot of them are,
Right.
they always going to be opposite. It's going to be a hothead. There's going to be a cool. There's going to be a cooler one. There's going to be a slick talker. There's going to be a laid back one. It's going to be a fighter. There's going to be one that don't want to fight. It's just It's just that's what it is. That's why because it's like a what is it? What is that? It's like a split embryo. They're
Yeah, it's
not
like two
split.
sides of the same coin.
Yeah, so, yeah. They not going to get everything that the other one got. So you kind of right with that is like with the with that it was you kind of I ain't gonna say all the way predictable because I didn't see everything that was gonna happen. I didn't see everything that was gonna happen, but I kind of seen a little bit of somebody said this to me. I kind of see. I don't know if you remember the old movie Dust to Dawn.
Hmm.
yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. Like when I first time I watched
I
that
used to fuck
movie,
with that movie.
that's one of the dopest one of the dopest movies as far as like vampires because how
I
they did
grew
it.
up watching Salma Hayek, man. You talking about that's the first time I got introduced to my Mexican girlfriend, man.
Yeah. So
Word,
now
man.
yeah. So
I ain't gonna hold you. I just before y'all hear it from anywhere else, man. I had a crush on Salma Hayek because of that movie, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And a
that
crazy story. I don't know if y'all know this. Quentin Tarantino, you know he was in the movie, but he was only in the movie and that part where the liquor go down Salma Hayek leg and pour into his mouth. He
Yo,
did that.
what?
He put that in the script where he's sucking her toes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well,
I believe,
when you the director, you got that type of. It sounds like he need to catch a case. Sounds like he need to be in the Weinstein files too. The way
Yo,
you make it.
because he threw that in the
How you just gonna write that in the script? Like, yo, you know what, Selma, we got Selma in the movie. You know what would be perfect for the scene if I do it personally. Like, if I put your foot in my mouth. Like, we should do that.
Take
listen,
two. Take 200.
yo, and
Yeah, we didn't get the right scene yet.
they was in the desert. She was walking on the nasty gangster bar floor.
That's a fact.
He didn't care about none of that. Like,
Had the grimy toe.
You know, she was dancing on tabletops.
no,
Word,
that's serious. So
word.
listen,
They're
Yo,
probably spilling Coronas on the table and shit.
them dive
yo,
bars, them floors be the
yeah.
worst.
Yo, listen, man, mad cigarette butts on the floor.
They ain't
Y'all
washed them
let been
floors
there
in
for
weeks.
80. Yo, what?
Like when you walk in, you could smell the floor in them places.
Yo, mad people's blood. They don't have mad
Right.
balls.
Bar fights and shit. We got
That's
caution
crazy.
tape in the corner and shit.
Yo, this is what I'm trying to tell you. So for
See,
him
we
to
need to
throw
do a
that in there,
breakdown on. Need to do a breakdown on that movie too.
Yo,
I
that's a
That's the
super
dog.
fact.
that's
Yeah.
the dog with the fire ass movie.
But hold on,
Yeah.
these are both vampire movies. Let's do it now. What was the better movie? I'm gonna say Sinners was the better movie. It was. I think I see the contrast that y'all have, but not enough to say it was the same movie. It wasn't the same.
It ain't
No.
nah, it ain't the same. It ain't the same.
No, it's not the same. It's got, like you said, it's got similarities. So
Yeah.
I see where they like. I'm guaranteed. They looked at Dust to Dawn, and they
Yeah.
got some because even like what makes it's the twists and turns.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't go into Sinners like if you didn't see the trailer, and you wouldn't just think that it would be just totally about vampires. You know what I mean? Because the whole setup is slavery days, cowboys. Like like we can get into that, right? Boom.
But hold on, Bright TV. Let me say this before I forget.
Yes, sir.
The comment thread is wee hours of the night, fucking dark places where people that's pretty much now. I don't think that blues music is a negative thing. I think I know that's why I don't want y'all to skip that part. I want to hear what you're gonna say, Bright TV, but I wanted to get into that part on how there was a misunderstanding on quote unquote secular music and what it was to play that music. I guess what
It
it's in
attract the devil, man.
well, it's a lot, huh?
That type of music attracted the devil, man. What you
Yeah,
mean? That showed you.
Okay.
As
remember
soon
what
as
the
he,
father said. Remember what the father said.
that's what his father told him. And then as soon as he started playing the music,
He says, "You keep dancing with the devil, you gonna meet him."
You know what? We need to do a bar breakdown and what was he saying to attract that negative energy?
yo, bro, you seen what it did? He started playing the music. Everybody started taking their clothes off.
Yeah,
Shit started.
yeah. Hold on. You
Shit
know,
got lit soon as he started.
So hold on, no. But let's again. We're gonna go to Bright TV. I want to hear what Bright TV is gonna say, but I just want to say for the movie to be called Sinners, one of the sins was lust. When he ate that coochie, hey, that's a married woman. Shouldn't have been
yeah, that
eating
was
that
crazy.
coochie.
Yeah, that was crazy. And she said, "Let me clean up." I remember that backwards and forwards. Like she said, "Oh, hold on, let me clean up a little bit." He was like, "Nah, I just want to taste it." I'm like, "Whoa." Like, bruh, she just told. So to me, that was kind of like, I get it. They was sweating all night. They was dancing. So maybe she wasn't, you know what I mean, as fresh as she could be. But also, I think you could take that as like she just got finished doing the do with her husband. And
Nah,
she's
he wanted
telling
the
you,
extra seasoning.
yeah, like, and you over here like, yo, but he was a young boy. He never, you could take that as he was a virgin. He never did nothing yet. So
You saying that when she gave him that fair warning, like, nah, I mean, it might be a little, nah, I'm saying,
yeah,
he
Might
should
be
have
a little
took heed to.
twang.
yeah.
Little twang on that thing.
Yeah. That thing ain't right now. It ain't right now. So, so she gave him a fair warning. That was a fair warning. Like, yo,
Word. It was
hold
a
on.
fair warning.
Like,
That was a fair warning. Nice.
look, they in a hot spot. This is, they down south.
A
They in
hot
a
spot.
barn. Ain't no
Right.
AC. It wasn't no fan. They packed in there. It's 100 people. They on top of each other, like you said. When the music started playing, they was getting undressed. They was, you know what I mean? They was feeling the music. You know what I mean? So they did whatever the music made them feel. You know what I mean? They was dancing till they sweat. That was when the days when they danced till they sweat. You know what I mean? Sweat.
All right. So hold on. What was the other sin? So lust was definitely because he shouldn't have been eating that coochie in that barnyard. Lust for the twin with the red on, like Jay said, he shouldn't have been hitting that. Know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, she ain't act like she, know what I'm saying? She been on them. So you knew what type of time, but you knew you was supposed to be on point. But it makes sense, even them being together after all of that over the, living forever because they vampires in the movie and shit. That shit, I thought just as a movie, that was dope. But again, not to deviate too much.
See, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I mess up the message for me, man. Because if the message is don't be a vampire and die with the good people, not the sinners. The vampires live forever. This nigga pulled up in the Coogee at the end, had fronts in and shit. He made it
Yeah,
look lit being the vampire, and then he was
Yeah,
lit since
but you
back
got
then.
but
Like,
you gotta kill people though. That's the only lit thing that ain't lit about it. Like, okay, everybody probably want to live forever, maybe, possibly, depending on your
but bro,
circumstance.
wait. Do you
But
really
you
gotta
gotta,
kill people? You making them lit forever with you.
but
He
they gotta
he
kill people too.
he wanted to bring his brother with him. Know what I mean?
Listen, my thing is this: when it comes down to music, I think the harmony that God want is knowing that your music can live forever.
And that
You
was the
know,
other thing. I don't know if this is true, but somebody told me that, and as a breakdown on this movie, that even if they would have made money that night, the clan was gonna come kill them niggas in the morning or some shit.
yeah, no, they
yeah.
was, they was.
No,
That's why they showed up at the end of the movie. But
that was
to
definitely part of the plan.
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's like
yeah.
even if they would have did shit, they was gonna die anyway. So if they get down with the get down, then they live forever.
No. But what I'm saying is, another interesting thing is, for one, they talk about how music connects with spirits. Another thing is they don't show an example of being able to live forever unless you're evil.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting as well, because to
Mm-hmm.
explain,
Mm-hmm.
everybody dances with the idea of living forever. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If I could
yeah.
live forever, this and that. But again, not to be long winded, because I always toggle with Jay, man. Pause. But go ahead, Bright TV. What was you gonna say? I definitely wanted to hear
Well,
what you were gonna say.
it was a couple of things, like you just said, with the spirits, right? They say liquor. Liquor is how evil
Word.
spirit liquor is how evil spirits get into you, and that's what they was. They was bootleggers.
Hmm.
That's
Oh, they
that.
stole that lick. Oh, yo, Bright
Remember,
TV. Bright TV. Let me ask you this. You seen the movie, right?
yeah, I seen the whole. I told you, I know it backwards
I
and forwards. I seen it like 3 times
remember.
already.
What you think about this? What you think about this?
What's up?
Do you remember that they stole that liquor from the
Yeah.
mob?
Remember when we worked
And
for him?
that was the Irish mob. And that dude
Remember,
was from Ireland.
remember he
The
worked on both.
vampire was Irish.
He
And he
worked on
stole Irish bear, remember?
he worked on both sides. He used to
Mm.
work with Al Capone. Like if you that's why I said you gotta watch the details. Because
Oh, but remember, they no. I'm with you. That's why we here. We breaking it down.
yeah,
Look.
he
They
said
remember
something
they
like this.
worked on both sides. They worked with the Al Capone, and they worked out with, remember, the Chicago outfit. But the whole
Yeah.
connection between the bear that they stole and the vampires are from the same place. They from
Mm-hmm.
Ireland, and they
Yeah.
stole Irish bear. So
Yeah.
just the energy of stealing that
That's it.
sin
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
stealing the bear led the, you know what I'm saying, the
Hold on.
vampires to that connection and to smoking stack. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm just we
No,
chatting,
no.
man. We
You,
party.
you,
Talk
you
to
on
us.
the right. You on the right path. Look, you had stealing. You had gangsterism because they was gangsters. They
Mm-hmm.
was gangsters.
Yeah.
First of all, to be black gangsters and you was working with Al Capone and then you was had connection to the Irish mafia, you had to be a gangster and you was making money with them. You was close enough to even steal their beers, to even steal their liquor. You was gangsters. They Blue Twins was gangsters. They was nothing to be messed up with. Remember, even when they came back to town, you
Yeah.
said stack name, and everybody was shook.
Yeah, nah, but that's it. Another thing, to your point, I think back then what made them more gangsters than anything is that they were intelligent. They actually went to the military and learned guns. These weren't thugs with guns. You know, you put a gun in the thug hand. Of course, he know how to shoot it, but these guys were trained, know how to shoot from distance, know how
No,
to fucking put a. He had a landmine pop up out the motherfucking sand or dirt or some shit.
no,
Like, these are they trained for war, and I think that's what Smoke and Stack became, not just gangsters, but actually killers,
right. And
professional
why
killers.
and why would you be valuable to the mafia?
Yeah,
You trained. You do this. Some people grow up in gangsterism and they learn stuff. No. They went to be trained how to use the gun, how to set traps for people, how to think like war and warfare. That was a total. That's why I said you got. I feel like it's a different kind of value. They was more valuable, and that's why the mafia used them in certain ways, in certain aspects, because they was putting in work. They made a name. They made a name with the white mafias, and then they was like, yo, you know what? Using my talents over here, I'd rather just give me this, and I'm gonna go back. Like they said, I'd rather mess with the devils I know. You know what I mean? That's why they came back to town. That's why they was like, yo, we're gonna do this kind of an honest way. Even though they had to start off on the wrong foot, but they said I'd rather do this the honest way and mess with the devils I know. I'm gonna steal this beer. I'm gonna open up a nightclub and I'm gonna rock with my people.
Yeah, we not necessarily going to get to the whole thing, but I kind of wanted to pivot this conversation to just music now, and just, you know what I'm saying, hearing drill music, blues music. What do we know? I'm a Google blues music, and we gonna see the definition that they give us. But again, I told y'all how I feel about what blues music is and how it's connected to the music that's part of today. But what do you think about blues music, Jay? And then we're gonna go to Bright. What do you feel about blues music and how it influences music then and now?
Yo, it's funny that you said that because I'm a funny nigga, and just earlier I was watching the episode of the Cosby Show with BB King, and Bud was singing the song. It's like, she gave me seven, I gave her 7 kids, and now she trying to give them back. And then that shit was funny. And then the other episode when the night and day episode when they were singing to the parents, the
That's
night and day.
I love that episode.
Night and day.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, I remember that.
That
That's a fact.
they had
That's a
Rudy
fact.
doing that part. But
Yeah.
word. But
That's a
but
fact.
blues is ill. And like it's not like I know a bunch of blues because I used to be in drum and bugle corps, so we used to play instruments and shit. But R&B is rhythm and blues, you know what I mean? Rap is definitely a form of the blues, you know what I mean? But word.
No,
Yeah.
facts. No, that's so facts.
Um,
Um,
go ahead, Bright.
I was gonna say, blues, it's influenced basically every genre. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not mistaken, that's the oldest, kind of the oldest genre out of like the R&B, rap, pop, rock. You know what I mean? I think that's the
Yeah.
oldest genre, right? So it's probably influenced every
But
single.
but to what you said, Bright TV, blues is like that. Blues is the B in blue R&B, like says rhythm and blues. So it's
Yeah,
like that's the evolution of it, and that's what I'm saying about the blues. And what we all agree on, the common thread is that it did evolve. This music, the
yeah.
blues genre of music evolved in our music.
Because
Blues
if
like
rap
rhythm, like
if
hold on,
rap is us rapping about the struggle, blues is pretty much the same thing. They were singing about the struggle way before people was rapping about the struggle.
I was
And
just about to
even
say
in
that.
blues, some blues singers, they kind of talk their words. So
Mhm.
No, it was the first form of rap, and I'm gonna say it
right.
like this: it was like you just said, rhythm and blues, right? Let's just go to there. The rhythm, that's just the music.
Mm,
The blues is the story.
true.
Right.
So, that's what
How you convey that story though? That's how you convey it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
See, the difference is with straight up blues. Blues was no embellishing. It was we out here picking cotton. It's
Right.
hot. Master
Right.
whooped me. My daddy
Picking
used to
cotton
beat me.
master riding.
I was jumping.
Master, we picking cotton in the master rioting.
This is like I drunk so much liquor, so I don't even know where I was at. Like it was no embellishment. It was this is straight what it is. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a adulterer. Like it was mad stuff that they were saying. Like they tell you every little bit of part of their life. There was no sugarcoating nothing.
Well, see,
That's
No, that's a
why like
fact.
blues is the
what?
raw form of it.
Well, that's why y'all want. Bree was asking why they looked at it like it was for the sinners, because that's what you talk about. You talking about the alcoholism, the prostitution, the
Yeah, yeah,
anger, the I
yeah,
shot a man dead.
yeah,
You talk
yeah.
about shit like that, then that's
No,
why the church people is like, nah, you can't be singing that type of music. It incites the people.
right.
Yeah,
No, no,
man.
no. But listen. But this is. Let's stay here real quick because we gotta do this. When it that part, you can't be getting whipped on your back, fucking hot ass sun. You ask for a half hour lunch break, nigga. Half hour lunch break. Fuck you mean half hour lunch break? It's
Right, right.
you know what I'm saying. So my point is that you gonna go to the church man and the pastor man. You like, yo man, I'm fucking tired and I'm hot, man. I ain't take a shower in 2 fucking days, man. They working me like too much, man. They ain't
And then
paying
they
me.
gonna tell you to sing Amazing Grace again. Like sing Amazing Grace one more time.
Yeah, I can't like you tired of singing that. You like, oh, I got a song too. And
This
that's the
little light of
conversation.
mine one more
Right.
time.
That's the conversation I want to have. Is because the blues came from being mad. They mad about something until they started singing about it.
Yeah.
Imagine you so mad, like imagine you have, and people know, and and everybody know. You ever wanted to punch somebody, but you didn't. You like, that became a song. That became a song. That's
Yo,
like
you
rolling back
stupid,
from
bro.
Massa. You wanted to swing on Massa, and you know what I'm saying? You just
Right. Nah,
no.
you
Yo,
had to
you
come up with a
stupid.
hook. That was a note. He couldn't even think. He couldn't even say what he wanted to say, so he came up with a note. Like, now I get it. Like, it definitely it gets like that. It's not even. That's not even a. I go through that at work. I mean, so, and I'm getting paid now, and I still be feeling like that. So imagine it was no perks. Imagine
Yeah,
you
hold
didn't
up.
get no money.
Look, you got the definition of the blues. It said blues music is a form of secular folk music that has originated in the African American communities of the deep south of the United States in the late 19th century. It is characterized by soulful melodies, expressive lyrics, and a unique harmonic progression. The genre has roots in spirituals, work songs, field hollers, and narrative ballads, and it has significantly influenced many other music genres worldwide.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that being
yeah.
said, that being said, even if that shit didn't happen, the whole connection of somebody from Ireland taken to the blues, like, yo, I used to do Lyft, and I remember I was like, yo, what you want to listen to? They was like, I want to listen to what you want to listen to. I said, nah, I want to listen to what you want to listen to because it's my job to make sure you get there and listen to the music you want to listen to. What music you want to listen to? She was like, lemongrass or some shit she said, but it was
Bluegrass.
like, huh?
Bluegrass.
Bluegrass.
Nigga said bluegrass. Yo, this.
Yeah.
I said, okay, bluegrass. I play that because but I was telling the truth then too. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I do music, so I could probably take one of the beats, flow on it. And I mean, I'm nice like that. So I put it on, and it was kind of like the vibe it's like a peaceful energy, kind of cool, kind of laid back, nothing stressful happening, no city bus horns, no no, you know what I'm saying? No traffic, you know what I mean? No bullshit happening, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it was cool. You know what I'm saying, listening to the music. And usually I don't, but I do listen to alternative music when I was a Lyft driver because I didn't want to hear hip hop all day. Sometimes I won't say that I will put on blues, but I will put on like alternative rock. I will listen to like light Z100. I will listen to like, you know what I'm
This
saying, stuff.
Z100 ass nigga.
And
Yeah.
I
Nah,
tried to listen.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
I tried to listen to jazz, nigga. I almost crashed. I said,
Yo,
no, hell
what?
no. I said,
How
I
you
tried.
almost
Somebody was like, yeah, you should listen to jazz. I'm going to a concert. Yo, I tried to listen to jazz when I was driving. That shit wasn't exciting enough for me, bro. I need some shit like shoulder lean, nigga. I need to be, you know what I'm saying? Whipping. I need to be riding to something that's keeping me energetic. That jazz shit it puts you in a different vibration. But it's still
Well,
good.
see,
It's
but
still
you
good
gotta
music.
look at the timing too. You know, the timing um at that time with the music that was energetic for them because it was a
Mm.
rebellion music and it was actually something that they could relate to. So even if the tempos was a little bit slower and stuff like that, it was still something that they can relate to. So that was in it. You know when you hear something that hits you, it gives you that energy. It don't matter how slow it is. It don't matter how fast it is. If it's something that's real, it's something that relates to you. It hits you differently. You know, if it could raise the hair on the back of your neck, like, wow, I went through that. No, I'm not. That's some real shit. They not capping right now. They not just talking just because words maybe they could rhyme together. Nah, he's been through that, and I've been through that, so it's relatable. But
Mm-hmm.
so I get it. See, but I understand what you're saying. When you riding, yeah, you've been riding for 6 hours. You don't want that slow tempo. You need something that's gonna keep you up tempo because you riding. You know, them lines start looking differently when you they start looking the same when you're riding. So you need something that's like a
All
up
right,
tempo.
so let me ask you and Jay something. I want to ask Bright TV, then we gonna go to Jay. What if I
Right.
needed something to ride to? If I need some music to ride to, what songs that you done that I could actually ride to? And you know what I'm saying, or anybody could ride to and you know what I mean, rock out. They work Lyft, truck drivers going across country. What could they
Oh,
play? What they we need to be listening to you know what I'm saying, keep them going.
I got three off the top. I got one that I did like some years back called Blackout. You could look for that on my page. I got another
Okay.
one called Lit Fuse. And then definitely, the song I got out right now, this summer banger, Rock With You. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Rock
Like,
with you.
yeah, Rock With You is definitely just it's a great mood. Like I made many songs, and then like you said, that mood that puts you into like where you could really literally play it for anybody. I could play that song for anybody. I could play it for kids. I could play it at a school. I could play it at church. I could play that song and feel confident, like, oh, no, turn that off. That's a little bit too raunchy. It's not that kind of song. It's really it's a dope song that you could really play in front of many audiences. So that one, I can literally say, yo, now I can play that for anybody. I got songs that I'll be like, no, that's a little bit too much for them. They're not ready for that. You know what I mean? But that one right there, I could play that for a 2 year old and be okay with them saying my lyrics. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
Now I'm
Yo,
with
yo,
you.
Jay, what you got? I know you got some joints that you could be like, nah. Like, what out of your selection, what would you play?
I didn't even hear the question, low key. I stepped away to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
The question was if what songs you got, just some high energy songs that people could listen to if they
Oh,
drive in like Lyft or something like that.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of the different world music that we do is like positive, high energy, upbeat, a lot of Afro beats, a lot of vibey shit. So I would say I feel it, calling, where you at, picture perfect. Like, cause if you listen to different vibe or vibe different, both of those is like a lot of up tempo shit. And then if you listen to a different world, the album, you calling, I feel it, Thousand Girls. Those is some up tempo joints. You know what I mean? You're gonna turn up when those is on. But even stick up, like it's a lot. A lot of our music is up tempo. You know what I mean? Because we really make music
Yeah.
for live crowds. So most we
got you.
perform live a lot. So it's just we got a lot of call and response hooks, a lot of energy getting the crowd involved.
Mm, got it. Yo, I wanted to shout out Dennis Milton real quick. He up in the comments, right? And he said real quick, he said 80s hip hop was a form of rebellion. Truth be told, fellas, we are headed back to that time. And we are gonna have to fight for our freedom. I hope y'all paying attention. What y'all think about that?
80s music to me, you know what I'm saying? I was young. I was born in the 80s. And yeah, so what I know, yeah, the 80s music was very rebellious. You got Public Enemy. And my thing with Public Enemy when I was growing up is like, yo, the music is whack. Yeah, of course, you know what I'm saying? The message is real and you need that message. But I didn't really like the music. You know what I mean? Fight the Power is a song that stuck with me. Excuse me. But just knowing growing up, like, growing up, I wasn't into that. I was into Tribe Called Quest. Like, now I'm not saying that I was more of listening to music in the '90s opposed to the '80s. You know what I mean? I was listening to what my mama was listening to in the '80s. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm only saying that to say, you know, I got an old soul, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to music. But in the 80s, yeah, the revolutionary music, yeah, I think it's important. I think, we need it. I think it's necessary because it resonates with the fan soul in hip hop. We part of this culture. We are the essence of it. We seen when it was born. We know when it was born. It's not even 100 years old. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's pretty much a new genre, and it is a deviation of blues. And I like the fact that the 80s did give the voice to our narratives from our perspectives. And it wasn't white, it was, well, for lack of better words, it wasn't washed by the machine for it to be this way or that way for you to make money. And people actually follow music that resonated with them opposed to what was popular because they force feeding it on the radio. So, you know what I'm saying? I think music is important. I think it's vital, and I think it's it's one of the elements of life that make things great, man. I need music to live, to keep it real with you.
Nah, yeah.
Word.
Life would be boring without music. Right, there's a lot of music. You know what's crazy? Like, life is changing. This is how I know as you mature in life, right? I was a big hip hop rap fan, still am. You know, I'm a fanatic of this shit as well as just as an artist. But as I got older, I started listening to more gospel. And what's crazy about all gospel is uplifting. Like,
Okay.
like all in any aspect or any singer that you're gonna listen to of gospel is gonna be a story, but it's gonna be like, or always at the end of it, it's a message of it gets better. It's not always gonna stay like this. It's a light at the end of the tunnel, and et cetera and et cetera, et cetera. It's always uplifting. You know what I mean? So that's where, like I said, with my music now, and just like I told you, God ain't he ain't done with me. So every song is not gonna be like that. But that's why I'm trying to put more of a positive message in my music. Because I was out here in the streets. I know what's out here. I know what goes on. So I was repeating that same cycle. You know what I mean? And if you keep repeating just, they would say it's the devil music. Because if you're not talking about nothing positive, that's why they would call it the devil's music. You know what I mean? You
I
gotta
hear
be
you.
saying, yeah, you gotta be saying something with positive messages for you to break that of they just calling it devil's music. You know what I mean? Now they can't just come at you like, oh, now that's all devil music because you don't really. What else do you talk about? If you talk about everything that's just bad, then of course they gonna title it that. You know what I mean? But if you got some messages in there, it's a storyline. It was a build up, and then I hit you with a blah 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 blah, and I hit you with a good outcome, with a lack of better word, a happy ending. You know what I mean? They like, all right, he's thinking this through, or he's not just going to keep hitting you with the worst things that he could think about. He's thinking about, all right, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what we are right now. Where, like you said, where Homeboy just said, we're gonna have to fight for our freedoms because freedom of speech. That's one of our freedoms. Once
Facts.
once they take that away, bro, we messed up out here. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna be able
Yeah.
to. Yeah, we messed up out here. Once you can't express yourself, once you not be able to articulate yourself, then you just like everybody else.
Yeah, one of the biggest things, one of the biggest things to me is right here. It's unique harmonic progressions, and basically is that you can't get there to unless you got you can't just always get there. You have to take steps to it. It's a unique harmonic progression. The unique harmonic progression, and it is the rival. I'm not rival, but it is to rebel against things that you don't think that is right. You know what I'm saying? Because certain things that are righteous, that it resonate with your soul, and you don't want to fight against it. You know what I mean? That's why I think
Right.
that they kind of use religion as a weapon to make people docile. But that being said, you could see in the Sinners movie, he said, "Yeah, I know the Bible too." He was trying to recite a whole fucking part of my language. He was trying to recite something out the Bible. The vampire started reciting it too. He like, "Yo, I know that shit too." So again, it just goes to show that the intent behind the intent behind the energy you put in words. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at the source. You got to look at where it's coming from too. You know what I mean? Because for a lot of things disrupt unique harmonic progression, and for you to like stay consistent, like have a stream of consciousness where it's unique harmonic progression, you got to have that freedom to express. But if somebody always, they said, a shark will only grow as big as the tank you put him in. You put a shark in a tank, he gonna grow as big as that tank. You put a shark in the ocean, he gonna grow as big as that ocean. And I think that's what's happening. The unique harmonic progression is being halted, like the metaphor I just said. They keep trying to put our music in the tank when it belongs in the ocean.
That was well articulated. I like that. That was a good metaphor for it. Because it's definitely always room for, especially I'm gonna still say hip hop because hip hop it blended with everything. They used it. It's been used more than any other genre. Even though we branched off, like we were just talking about the blues, hip hop has been used and reinvented and blended with every other genre. So it's been used more than every other genre. So it's still more room for it to grow.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's still more room for it to grow. Like we don't even know what it might mutate into in the next 15, 20 years.
But
You
it
know what I
got
mean?
like for instance, like it's all about freedom of expression. You gotta let there gotta be a certain people that's always gonna be able to rebel, and not necessarily rebel, but always have the freedom of expression to express themselves. Not express myself in a way where I want to buy the newest clothes, buy the newest car, date the beautiful women. Just express yourself in like self knowledge, and then tap
Right.
in and see and kind of use that as a map opposed to what the machine is telling you and say, okay, rap about this. No, rap about yourself. Rap about rap about bacon, egg, and cheese if that's what you have for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Rap about some shit that you know. Don't rap about some shit you don't know. That's corny.
Yeah,
But yeah,
right. Rap about you just hit it on the nose. Rap about something that you know about, something that resonates with you, something that you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, yo, I was being as real as I could be with myself. Because when you real with yourself, it's gonna be receptive to other people as that's him. He's not trying to be nothing other than what he knows and who he is. Like, and I'm gonna use a perfect example of one of like the best people to ever do that. James Brown. James Brown used to freaking sing about anything. Listen to all his songs. That man could sing about anything, and he was just being himself. You know what I mean? Because a lot of
yeah.
times you didn't even know what he was saying. I ain't even gonna hold you. I love James Brown, but a lot of times you didn't even know what he was talking about. But it was
Who
it,
you,
it,
who
it
you
sounded
say?
so good. James Brown.
Who that?
A lot. James Brown.
Who?
James Brown.
Oh, James Brown. My bad, bro. The audio, my fault.
Okay, my bad.
Um,
I was about to say we had technical difficulties over here. We don't know who
yeah,
James
nah,
Brown is. But
yeah,
yeah,
nah.
nah,
James
nah.
Brown.
Like He's one of the artists that, like I said, he sung about everything. He sung about whatever he felt like. Like, he had a whole song called about please, 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 please. Like he could sing about anything. Like, and for like I said, is you don't get people that could just they could just be they comfortable in their own skin. They comfortable in their own skin. And once I'm comfortable in my own skin, you ain't got no choice but to respect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You got no choice. Like it's a big difference. You know what I mean? So that's like why he's probably like one of the Godfather of soul. You know what I mean? Because he was
yeah,
putting you himself. I'm not trying to be like nobody else. It is what it is. I'm me, you, and the world goes round and round. But that's what I think we as a culture, that's what we got to get back to. Is remember I think in my last interview that we did, you know, we talked about like it was like an assembly line. Like everybody sound the same. That's why these corporations could do what they do. You know what I mean? Is nobody setting no standard of like you don't gotta sound like boy over here. Like that was another thing that the '90s had. The '90s and even the '80s, they like wasn't no you couldn't sound like homeboy who just got finished rapping.
okay,
You couldn't
yeah,
sound like you might even have a little hint. I could see maybe an influence, but you couldn't even the singers. You couldn't sound like the person that just got off the stage singing. You couldn't do that.
yeah.
Now
That was
it's
part. Yeah,
too much of that now, and that's what's
yeah.
making and that's what's watering down the game. That's what's watering down everything. You know what I mean? So it's
Facts.
no originality. There's no originality. Where the originality? So nobody's in their head like, now I'm cooking up, and when I'm cooking up, I don't want to hear nobody else because I'm not even trying to sound like you. I don't even want that comparison. Like, and don't get it twisted. When we was talking, like I said, when we was talking like yo, you was like yo, this song goes into certain people. You like they had that energy. I'm not disrespecting that, but in that, it was still like a line that you would never try to cross with, like, nah, oh, he sound like such and such. Then he sounds just like such and such. There was there's no line when you like, nah, he's him. He's him, and he's just doing him, or she's her, and she's just doing her. It's more just like, damn, he sound like the 20 niggas that I just heard 5 minutes ago. It's literally
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's literally like that right now. And they don't even got no pride because they cool with it. that's what's even more. That's what's even more bad, bro. Like these dudes ain't even got no pride about their own craft. That they cool with saying that they sound like somebody saying, "Yo, you sound just like this another nigga," and they'll be like, "So."
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, bro. You
it's
know.
it's 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 unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I look at it like for us to know about the '80s music and '90s music and be able to go to YouTube and these different places and select the music, we got to take advantage of that, bro. We can't leave it up to the radio to be on our playlist. Like we listen to you because you on the radio. Nah, you still don't get no play in my rock. If you're on the radio, down, I might hear you because you're on the radio, but I ain't putting you on my playlist. I owe that to myself. But
Right,
I
right.
wanted to hear what Jay was going to say about BET Awards. I know he said Castanet was there. They was going crazy for him.
Uh, it was kind of crazy. The glaze was immaculate. Like they was glazing him crazy. But at the end of the day, Kevin Hart did some cool shit. He told BT that he wasn't hosting the BT Awards if Castanet couldn't stream the whole thing and all of the backstage and everything. So that shit
Mm.
was cool. But everybody backstage, like, they just saw Kai and was like, hey, why you didn't put me on Streamer University? Put me on Streamer University. Why you ain't come on, bring me on your stream? Why no more R&B on your stream? Like, damn. Let the
So
young
so
man.
so you think that the clout that he got is deserved? What do you think about Castanet as a content creator? Just what he got going on. What do you think about um
A
You know what
young,
he
a
what he
young
doing.
black, a young black streamer from New York, and is the biggest streamer in the world. That's amazing. Shout out to him. He's taking the game where the game has never been took.
That's true. Shout out to Casa. Excuse me. Live
He's an
streaming and all of
innovator
that. Yeah.
and an opinion leader in the community. Know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Like him by himself, I feel like he like well somebody can he said somebody compare him to like the new 106 in Park. Cause like back in the day, kids used to get off school, watch 106 in Park. Kids is watching Kai now. Like
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I can say this. He's got the fame. The kids is tuned in, but nah, it's not the same. It's not the same impact as 106.
Right.
you think so?
Yeah.
He ain't got free. You ain't I was tuning in for free.
No,
That nigga.
no. The
Listen,
funny shit yesterday, Free came up to him. He didn't even know who Free was. He called her Freeze.
Wow.
He called her
What?
Freeze, bro. Cause she walked up, she was like, "How you doing? My name is Free." He said, "Oh, nice to meet you, Freeze."
this
Wow.
is what see what I'm saying. This is the disrespectfulness. See, because I do my due diligence on the young boys. See what I'm saying? Now
Yeah.
they don't do no history. They don't do no homework, and then they feel like I'm just that nigga or I'm just that new chick. Nah, it don't work like that
Yeah.
because you
I
know
don't like
what?
that.
And this is real talk because eventually you're gonna get old.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
Yeah,
gonna stay
Bree, you
young
can't say I
forever.
like that. You just said you don't really like the '80s music. These young kids, they just don't. They not listening to Jay-Z and all that like we
No, no,
were.
no, no, no. But you still gotta listen. You still gotta know
They
where
don't.
it came from. Like I said, I do my due diligence on the
Because the
music.
same thing happened. Oh, did y'all see the shit with him and Wale?
Yeah, it seemed
Kai-
like it was some type of misunderstanding or
Yeah,
something.
yo, Kai walked past Wale in the hallway. He dapped him up and said, "Oh shit, you playing Switch? What game you playing?" He said something. He's like, "I'll bust your ass." And he got in the car. And then the chat, because he was live the whole time, the chat was like, "Yo, WYLA, WYLA, oh shit." He's like, "Oh shit, that was somebody famous? Who's that?" Who he said then his man was like, "What happened?" He was like, "Yeah, the chat saying that was somebody named Wally. Who's Wally?" And then after that, at another point in the night, this nigga Kai was sitting there talking to Snoop, and Wale came up and interrupted them and was like, "Yo, that shit that you did in the car when we met earlier, like that shit making me look crazy. I'm gonna talk to you about later."
Yeah, I seen that. Well, I mean, so what's your take on it, Jay?
I feel
Hold
like
on. Let me
that.
shout. Hold on, shout the leaf diggy by the way. Sent the super chat. Go ahead. Super.
Honestly, I feel like Wale shouldn't even address that shit. Like
I mean,
he
listen.
already didn't know you. Now you coming and interrupting his conversation, talking about why he don't know you, and you want to talk about it later. And you trying to do it like behind the scenes, but the whole shit is live, so it looked weird. But like you trying to whisper in his ear, but he got a mic on. You whispering dead into the mic, like.
Yeah. They just picking up all of that, man. Now,
But
this is what we say. All right, everybody's not gonna know everybody, right? There's some big artists right now and on the other side of the world. They views is crazy. If you ask another person, they're like, "Oh, you don't know who this person is." I get that, but that doesn't mean that like I was just talking about. Like I listen to everybody. I got a 17-year-old and a 5-year-old. I got the best of both worlds, right? This is why I say that because my 17-year-old he gonna put me on to drill and he gonna put me on to all this new wave, the new R&B singers. My 5-year-old he gonna put me on to the newcomers that my 17-year-old is not listening to. So I got the best of both worlds right now. You know what I mean? But my point is, I do my due diligence. You're in the industry. You should want to know. You don't even gotta listen to these people's music like that. You don't gotta like Jay Z, like you just said. You don't gotta like Jay Z. You don't gotta like Wale, but you don't know. You don't have no idea of who these people are. That's crazy.
they
How you not
studying
know
they studying Chief Keef and Future, and that's their
that?
OGs.
And that's what I'm talking about. All right, because
That's
look,
true.
look.
But I ain't gonna lie. when I was coming up for real, producers that I was around would give me other like older CDs and records and be like, "Yo, go play these, go listen to this for a little while." They would tell me to do it, but honestly, if they wasn't telling me to do it, I might not have did it. But I did it because I was around niggas that was saying, "Yo, take this home, listen to it, and then come back and talk to me about it. Tell me what you feel." And
So you think
like,
the OGs need to do a better job of being tapped in?
yeah, maybe that
Bree.
OGs need to do a
Say it
better
again,
job of being
Bree.
in touch with the youth
Let's
and
talk
putting them
about it.
onto
Yes,
that type of
Bree.
shit.
Yes. Your OGs is supposed to be putting you on. Who's your OGs? And they flip it. Because this is how it goes. This is just like your moms and your pops and your grandmas and your aunties and your uncles. They used to put you on to what they used to listen to. That's why you heard songs that be like, oh, this is fire. Oh, I didn't know this song because that's not what's going on in your era. But this is how you got put on to different eras in different genres of music. Old OGs. This is how it goes. But if your OGs is not saying nothing, you just only listening to people that's your age. People that's your age. Listen, not saying that you can't learn nothing from people that's your age, but that's not what you going to learn. You're not going to learn those jewels from them. Those is not the people that's dropping the jewels on you. Not 99% of the time. 99% of the time, it's the OG, somebody who knows something that you had no idea of. That's the problem. So your OGs is
Yeah.
working, bro.
What I will say is I
And
just
I
want
feel
to say
like,
one of the things.
and I,
No, I
wait,
just
wait,
want to say.
wait. And I
Go
feel
ahead.
like that's what creates a divide. That's what creates a divide. That's what creates the divide of the elders and the younglings. It's not that I don't listen to that. Nigga, I'm 48, bro. I still listen to some of this shit because that shit get me hyped when I listen to it. But that's what creates the divide when it's like your OGs is like, all right, you want me to listen to this new stuff? All right, you gotta listen to some of my stuff. Now we come to a common plateau. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
back. So now speak your piece, bro.
Nah, it's cool. Basically, what I was saying was, or wanted to say was, the fact that you get certain YouTube, I won't say YouTube, music historians, and they make the connection. They connect the dots. They got channels dedicated to show them where the sample of this song come from. Like even the biggest one I can remember is and this is where OGs put me on, was the Ron Isley song that with Biggie. Like Biggie took Ron Isley beat and the Between the Sheets beat and he rapped over it. That was the first. That was like one of the first songs that I can remember where OGs put me on and said, hold up. You think y'all like this new music, but you really like our old music. Yeah, y'all taking our beats. Y'all taking our beats and y'all rapping over it. Y'all not slick. And this is why Biggie could transcend between so many different generations because he was able to do that. So for what it's worth, I like that connection. I like Biggie connecting with the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he's he's basically taking beats from back in the day and you know what I'm saying, and making it something that we can listen to now. And anytime an artist could take samples from back in the day and make it a song now,
He was
that's
taking
fine.
beats from the '80s and make it sound so crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was Diddy or Mace. That was one of them niggas.
That was Mace, I think. That was
Yeah,
Mace. Probably, and even if it was Diddy, Mace probably wrote it.
right.
Word. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit is dope, man, because it shows that, you could be, what's the word? Inspired by the music. You know what I mean? You're not listening to say, "Oh, I'm better than this music. I want to be better than this." You inspired by the music, and the music once you helps you create music. I like that artist much more than I like these manufactured rappers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's how I feel about it. I don't want to be too long winded because my guy, this is JTV. He got a show coming up at 9 o'clock. It's a different world. I'm definitely tapping into that. What you got going with that, Jay? What let the people know. All right, well, it's 9 o'clock. It's gonna be on IG. It's gonna be on TikTok probably. Might be on YouTube. Working that out. And it's called A Different World, man, where they talk about a bunch of different things. You know what I mean? I'm gonna probably be on that show too. That's a dope show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
shout
know,
out to
that,
this
that,
Zay.
that was another childhood. That was another childhood show that we grew up on. The
The
Cosby Show,
Different
Different
World.
World. Yeah, the Different World was
Yeah,
dope too. Yeah, that was a different.
the
That was a dope
different.
show too.
I like the Different World because it made me want to go to college. I was like, wow,
Right.
that's what college is like. You know what I'm saying? A bunch
Right.
of honeys. You live by yourself. You ain't gotta live with your parents. They got the food spot downstairs. Oh, that's look easy. You know?
Listen,
Oh, yeah.
for
It's-
for us young black kids in the city, um, like Cosby Show and Different World, man. I don't think there'll be two shows that was better that showed us in a positive light. That showed us like you could do it all. You know what I mean? Yo, listen, you could have a family. Pops is a doctor, mom's is a lawyer. All the kids finished school, went to college. You know what I mean? Had a happy big family, and then the spinoff, you had Different World, where all of these, like you said, they just showing you the ins and outs of college and the drama and they wins, they losses, everything. Like it'll never be another predominantly black show that showed us in a better light. It'll never be those two
Facts.
shows right there. That's it. That's another reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could do a spin back on that. Talking about the Cosby Show.
No, we here.
Bill Cosby.
No. Let's do it now. Let's do it now.
Oh,
Cause I'm
oh,
gonna play a clip. But I'm glad you said that. Go ahead.
yo, peace, I see you, bro. But it was like I said, that was like
What up, lady?
this is why they got rid of Bill Cosby because no matter, our ups and downs, he had tough love. Every time he used to say something, he used to always say, yo, black people, we got to get better and blah, 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 blah. Let's stop, the cursing so much in our shows and profanity and blah, 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 blah. Let's come up with better stories. They had to wash him up and make him like not even a factor because he was going to do the same thing. Like, it's a lot of stuff that we could talk about. They was talking about the oil that was under his crib. That's why they got rid of him. Then they was talking about, he was going to buy. You don't think so? You don't think that was it? Well, hold on, bro. I'm gonna let you speak. And then he was supposed to put some money into more black shows, which they was not gonna be this Tyler Perry sucker shit. I'm tired of Tyler Perry. That's all he do is promote us in the worst fashion, just drama all day. Like, come on, bro. Like, you never see us in a good light with him, and it's always a feminized way of looking at about it. It's not 50,
Eh, eh,
it's not a half and half. You know what I'm saying?
Especially not a dark skinned nigga. Usually,
Nah.
if there's any good dude, he always light skinned. In the Tyler Perry movie, they don't have no dark
Yo.
skinned good dude. Like the dark skinned nigga
Talk,
be the
talk, talk, to,
evil
talk
nigga.
that shit.
He got
Yeah, yes.
HIV, some
Yup.
other shit.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey, it's speaking into existence, bro. It's the same thing in sports. How come how come Patrick Mahomes get the benefit of the doubt before Lamar Jackson? How come Wemby, bro, get the benefit of the doubt before Bobo, man? I know what the fuck is going on, bro. Y'all can't pull the wool out on me, bro. I already know some shit. I watch way too much Forensics Channel shit, bro. Y'all can't pull nothing over me, bro. Nah,
Nah, you're
I'm not
right.
that type of nigga, bro. Like you just gonna have my eyes closed and shit, bro. Like, listen, we already know how to be betrayed, and now all the shit that's going on in the internet with the 20v1s, bro, and the pop the balloon challenges is more and more stereotypical shit that's stereotyping us, black
Yeah.
men and
Bring
women.
it right to bring it back to what Bright TV said before we go forward to agree with Leaf is Eddie Murphy. He had a clip where he on Jay Leno and he explains that there was a lot of rhetoric and backlash because Boomerang didn't have any white people that were like corporate leaders or running a corporation. It just showed African Americans doing good business without us being thugs goons, killers, pimps,
Mhm.
gangsters. It
Mhm.
showed us in that light where we were just doing business and we just regular folk, just
Mhm.
living our life, dating like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? And it shows us in the light where we not struck with poverty. It showed the affluent African American community, but it showed us on some cool shit. I feel like the
Yeah.
Bill Cosby perspective was like affluent African Americans, but they went to college and yada yada yada. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was big
Yeah.
on that, which was a good thing. But
Great
this
thing.
show more of what I'm saying? I'm dealing with women, you know what I mean? I'm moving and shaking. He was Mike Lowry before he was Mike Lowry. And
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end of the, you know what I mean? And I'm saying this, I'm light skinned and y'all dark skinned. I'm saying this, he was dark skinned.
Yeah.
And he made it right. And trust me, that's probably why they casted Tony Braxton. But let's call it what it is. Tony Braxton
Well,
easy on the
according to
eyes. I
Charlie
don't care what
Murphy,
y'all say. You know what I'm saying?
according to
He
Charlie
easy on the
Murphy,
eye.
they was the
What?
blackest niggas on the planet at the time.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a, nah. You nah, Jay.
Doctor
You
Yeah,
Jay.
Strange.
JJ, you not lying about that, but to keep it, but to
yeah.
keep it on what my man Bright was saying, bro. Like listen, it's a lot of instances of it, bro. Like you just gotta pay attention. One of my favorite movies of all time is Wakanda Forever, bro. The reason being is because I get reminded every time I watch that movie. It reminds us what black people don't have. We don't have our own armies. We don't have our own bases. We don't have our own resources. We don't have our own language. We don't have our own ships. We don't have our own countries. We don't have our own nothing, bro. Like none of that shit. And every time I see Wakanda Forever, bro, like I be telling people all the time, I'm gonna make it to Wakanda, man, before this fucking life is over. Trust me. It might not
Yeah.
be Africa. It might not be another continent, another country, because they basically then flooded that shit with a whole bunch of other shit 400 or 500 years ago, bro. And they made us do all of our success up under the nose of governments that's gonna control us. As long as you got them people in power, bro, like you're gonna have the same results. As you get too high, you get too high up on the mountain, bro. They gonna do something to knock you down. And if they can't
Yeah.
pin no, and if they can't pin nothing on you, they gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Go look at Michael Jackson. Go look at Prince.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like realistically, bro, like yo, what's the funny shit is I looked online just now. R. Kelly's lawyer, bro, is trying to get him out of jail because they fan for his life. R. Kelly lawyer is trying to plead to the presidential campaign to get him out of jail because they fan for his life. His life might be in danger.
But my thing is another thing that reminds me of the whole thing with Wakanda is that there were no problems there for the most part internally that they could not handle until integration happened. And that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? The whole element of be trying to fit in. Like, why we gotta fit in with y'all? Y'all take what we do and y'all govern it, but y'all not creating it for us to be awed by it. And no, we create it and y'all try to control it and govern it. So my thing is, it's not so much of an arrogance, but it's a self-knowledge. It's more of a, you know, I know my self-worth. I know my self-knowledge. I'm not gonna let you, I don't know, trick me out of what I know and trick me out of my spot. And not to say it like this, because I don't want to deviate but too much, but that integration and this all connect kind of intertwines with the sinners and the movie Wakanda is just on how they approach. It's never I'm the bad guy. Let me help you. No, once we integrate, we fucked. Not y'all. Y'all try to
Yeah.
take what we got going on and do. You know what I'm saying? Make it seem like it was y'all that had it in the first place. And you know what I mean? And my thing is that's what Remick was trying to do to Sammy. Remick was
Mhm.
trying to get that blues music from him, take his soul, and then be part of the whole. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
again, the harmony is that music lives forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know about the. I'll just say music lives forever. You know what I mean? I'm not getting into the whole spiritual besides that, but music
And
lives forever, and I think that's the harmony. And music could do a lot of things. It gotta have healing properties. It could be a lot of positive things that happen because of music and
absolutely.
frequencies. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
it's just a
Uh,
lot to unpack to keep it real with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all interesting to say the least.
It was the biggest disguise. It was one of the biggest disguises, right? He was trying to take the young boys. He was trying to take the young boys' talent And with the young boy's talent, he was going to disguise himself like he was a part of the culture, but actually he was going to just feed on. He was going to feed on people. So it was a disguise. That's the only listen. One of the biggest things is right, like you just said. Every time we integrate, we the ones that suffer, right? Now they got a problem when we're here and when we're just doing us. You can mind our business. We don't even have to go around and they want to be a part. When we try to say, yo, we're going to separate ourselves and we're going to go do our stuff over. We're going to do our own thing with our own people. They got a problem with that. So
They shouldn't have a problem with that. If they do their own
They
thing,
got
we ain't
they
got a
got.
problem with that.
I'm gonna tell you why they got a problem
I
with
ain't
that.
got a problem with that. Why they got a problem
I
with
know
that?
exactly why they got a problem with that, and
They
Bright gonna know
shouldn't
what
have
I'm
a
talking
problem with
about.
it.
The
yes,
reason
sir,
why they
yes.
got a problem with that because they don't have nobody to list on the bottom of the barrel, bro, without us. The thing is, bro, they don't like they ain't gonna when it comes to black and brown people, bro. Like they gotta make somebody out to be the villain. You know what I'm saying? So like the thing is, we're always public enemy number one, bro. You could
They
go
need
back to
somebody
any
to
time.
point their fingers and say that's the bad guy.
Yes, that's exactly
Mm-hmm.
what it is. They need
Yo,
somebody to
yes.
That's
point their
right.
fingers and say that's the bad guy. So by the time we smarten up and try to sneak up, I like say we all smarten up, and a lot of us, 90% of us, sneak up out of the country and make our way back to Africa and form Wakanda. By the time that happen, they're gonna have forces and stuff over there to make sure that we don't do it because
Mm-hmm.
they need us here, bro. Because like we listen, we entertain them, we make a lot of money for them, bro. Like with the sports and televisions and TVs and all of these things and musics and they done took our music and took it corporate, bro. Like, and they done put it into top buildings and Tribecas and all of that, bro. Like the white man own all this music.
Everything. It's nothing
Everything.
like
So the
we
reality
doing
is like
everything.
when by the time we form Wakanda, they gonna have everything in place and all the resources they need to make sure they make sure it backfire. They make sure it counteract. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So they listen. They need us, bro, but they need us to be the villain. They need to paint us in the villain in the news and the media, all of that, bro. Like I'm telling you.
From everything,
Unless
son.
this unless this shit turn into Thanos 5-year snap, bro, like we gonna always be under the nose of the quote unquote upper 1%. I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you,
Yeah, the worst thing that they ever told us is we the minority.
that's the
That
worst
was
thing.
yeah, that was the worst thing. That and people believe that bullshit. We the minority. We the
We the
majority.
minority. It ain't no minority because there's only one race, and that's the human race, bro. People practice bigotry.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. And
Yeah.
to add to that, this is the reason why I'm a net fan content creator because I think the biggest vehicle to connect to the human race is sports. And it didn't start like that. Like I'm masterminded this shit. I'm here because of the love of basketball. But I do feel like sports is the biggest vehicle to show from human to human. If we work together for one goal, we could be successful. It's the
Mm.
biggest example it don't matter where you're from. Catch the fucking pass. It don't matter where you from. I need you to dunk it. It don't matter where you from. Hit them with a tween cross. Step back, lay me. Whatever the fuck you fitting to do. I need you to score the ball. I need you to pass the ball. I need you to help me because we working towards one goal. And I think sports is the biggest vehicle for that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even when it come down to music, it's so much that you can connect with music that it's very disappointing and disheartening to see us have so much war because of music. You know what I'm saying? When it could really bring people together. That's what I think it's really here for. You know what I'm saying? So,
And, you got egos, and I'm gonna keep it a hundred. Look, the way I have to say that the way the industry is set up, the way the industry is set up to put us against each other. They
Yeah,
they
yeah,
play it. They
that's
play us
true.
against each other.
yeah.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Look,
That's
they
Yep.
true.
got the gangster rap kits, right? Listen,
Uh-huh.
especially like with these youngsters, right? They in the gang life. They doing what they do out here. They literally paying these young niggas. Yo, listen, I'm gonna give you a gun. I'm gonna give you this, blah blah blah. I'm gonna give you 50 stacks. I'm gonna give you a chain. Look. I need your name to be ringing. Somebody from the other side got to drop. They giving them
Yep.
a starter kit.
Yeah.
So so this wasn't going on in the 90s. This
No,
wasn't going on in the 80s.
no.
But this is the way they set it up now, so it will never start. And then they tap into the culture of gang life. So now they know that
Mhm.
that gang stuff is forever.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but that's what I'm.
but the one thing that we leaving out is the fact that the way that they do it now, they using the schemes to infiltrate, bro, and to infiltrate and break down layers and layers of what we stand for and everything that
Mhm.
we built,
Absolutely,
bro. Because
absolutely.
When NWA came out, it was so authentic. By the time America got a hold of it, bro, like they didn't realize how successful it was getting that fast. So they had
Yeah,
to calm it. So they had to figure out ways to slow it down. They had to figure out ways to revert it. And then here come Dre, here come Snoop, here come the lady that was saying that gangster rap is obscene, obscene,
yeah,
and we looking at it for what it was, bro. Like all it was just music. All it was just words of entertainment. But at the same time, we got to realize the spoken word is so powerful, bro. If it's not used in the
Nah,
right
but
context.
let's you know what it is again. Let's call it what it is, bro. NWA was a voice against the police. The police was fucking up people, and we didn't have a voice. No, the narrative was the news. You turn on the news, they like, oh, that black man. And listen, for entertainment purposes only. I'm not saying this actually happened. I'm just saying this is a scenario on why we needed hip hop to give us a voice. Basically, because the news was lying, and the news would take the narrative based on what was contingent on what the police, the mayor, and whoever else was in charge said. But it wasn't coming from the people in the neighborhood. There was two things. They always say it's three things. It's what he say, she say, and the truth. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
The news was saying a script. They have a script before they go there. This is what happened, but it's not like they go to the scene, take what the people say, use that as word, and then that's what it is. No, even if the people tell them exactly what happened, somebody could pull them to the side and say, yo, look, this is what happened. And then they report what they tell them to report. So hip hop was reporting what we know. It is our reporters. They were our news reporters. That's what hip hop was. That's what rappers were. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be long winded because I'm gonna close up soon because my God, this is JTV got a show coming, and we got Dante Reeves. He got New York Forever. You know what I'm saying on the panel. So I wanted to go to him. Shout out to Bright TV for showing up. Shout out to Leaf, one of the, you know what I mean, biggest contributors when it comes to super chats, and one of the biggest contributors when pulling up to the panel, just having good content on a regular, consistent basis. So thank both of them. But before we, you know, before we finish with the pleasantries, Dante Reeves, man, you jumped on a panel. I don't know. We talked about a whole lot of different stuff. I don't necessarily know what you want to talk about, but I want to say thank you for joining the panel and how you doing, man? What's good with you, bro?
All right, salute Breezy, man. Salute y'all, man.
Yo,
Salute.
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 I mean, back in the '80s, I think hip hop in itself it was more of a cultural phenomenon, and as and it was served as an avenue, for black people to openly express themselves than anything else. And hip hop, what has become of hip hop, it's not it wasn't exactly the cultural juggernaut that it was because cultural corporate greed and the power of the dollar is responsible for the current state of hip hop that exists now. So I don't think hip hop is no longer the same that it was because hip hop artists back then when they engaged in beefs, it wasn't about clout, it wasn't about views, it was more about street cred than anything else.
Yeah, lyrics. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I'm with you, bro. Bright was talking about the '80s music. You want to add to that, Bright?
yeah. When it first started off, it was also about communication. Each each city, each borough, each town, each place they could make a song and tell you what happens in their areas, what what the lingos are, how they talk, how they dress, what they dance to, what's party night, what's going on with, like you said, with the oppressions, not just police and all kinds of oppressions. It was just communication.
Word.
So when like you said, Dante, it got deferred when these corporations got more power over the actual artists and the actual people that support this music and the culture. The culture. I don't know if y'all remember this. It was something back in the days called "Make It or Break It." And back when that used to be on, if I'm not mistaken, it used to be on Hot 97 and other channels used to play, other radio stations. But it didn't matter who you were. Your name didn't matter. The people used to choose what they wanted to hear. And this is what's going to get played. Not who's getting sponsored, who got the most advertisement, who got the biggest budget, what label was involved. It was none of that. It was, this is what the people want to hear. And once like I said, once these businesses got involved and now they control more than what the culture, they got more say than the culture.
Yeah, no,
That was a
I
big
agree
problem.
with. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I feel like sometimes these rappers are just doing commercials, bro. Like
Yeah.
they just rapping about stuff that you can buy. You could buy the clothes that I'm wearing. You could buy the watch that I'm wearing. You could buy the car that I'm driving. Like
But I
you
got it
make
for free.
I,
But I got it
right,
for free. But you can buy it.
right. You know what I'm saying? That should get
That's
me
basically
tight.
what it is, bro. Like J hit the nail right on the head, yo. You like it's a lot of
Uh-huh.
shit. It's
You
a
can't
lot
be
of
this unless you buy this.
yeah, yeah,
That's the salesman.
it's a lot of unwarranted stunting, like I like to call, bro. Like especially with today, bro, because obviously everything is the same, but everything is really not. You know what I'm saying? And I understand everybody's trying to create a new. You know what I'm saying? You don't like nobody is gonna sound like somebody in the '80s, the '90s, the early 2000s, especially today, unless they've been rapping for 20 something years, bro. Like I mean. Everybody, I just heard the Wayne album to what yesterday, and everybody talking about yo Wayne, come on man, this ain't it man. I'm like Wayne, this been the Wayne that you know for 20 some years. You're not gonna appreciate Wayne on the LPs. You're gonna appreciate Wayne on the mixtapes. Everybody did. You know what I'm saying? So like no, I mean none of them Carter albums is gonna touch none of them dedication mixtapes. It's just a
So
fact. So
yeah, hold on. Just kind of rewinded into Dante. I wanted to hear what he thought about Bright TV and just the whole thing that Dennis Milton said in the comments too. And do you think that Kendrick Lamar can spring a whole new form of rappers? You know, he says Dennis Milton. I want to hear Dante react to this. Dennis Milton, a moderator on his page, he says 80s hip hop was a form of rebellion. Truth be told, fellas, we all headed back to the time when we are going to have to fight for our freedom. I hope you are paying attention. How you feel about that comment, Dante? Dante, you there? All right, well, we'll get his perspective pretty soon. Also, I want y'all to know that this is JTV. He got something going on at 9 o'clock. Can you tell him about that, Jay?
Different show where every week is a different show. We just be up there talking. Uh, but it be different shit every week. But talking about a bunch of different shit. Sometimes we be having little games and shit. It's just whatever. We up there talking, having fun, talking about pop culture topics, talking about just whatever the fuck is on our mind that week because it's different. You know what I mean? But and we always promoting our music, you know what I mean? So make sure you just stream a different world and go to my Instagram, this is Jay, or it's a different world on Instagram to stay tapped in with what's going on.
I appreciate that. I've been on that show before. I'm gonna probably join the panel tonight, but just listening in, it's a dope show. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him and his co-host D Rock, Obama. I
Like
seen
your
Leaf on the
favorite
show
president.
actually before. Yeah, yeah. Bright TV. If you ain't doing nothing, you know what I'm saying, tap in. I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
You
definitely
know
do
what I'm
that.
saying?
Definitely do that.
Word.
I'll tap in real quick, see what's going on over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Diddy,
I
Diddy
always
tap
go
in
over there and say
sometime.
a bunch of different shit. I'll be trying to
Yeah.
find different content to say different shit over there. But you know what I mean? I'll say it now. which I didn't say. Two things. I seen the real T1000. They really trying to build that shit, like the whole fucking metal going through metal and forming back up to fucking man, some crazy shit. Then I seen some other wild shit where they had a male Hooters. These niggas was wearing
What?
fucking a male Hooters.
Yeah,
Like these
your
niggas wearing short
algorithm is
shorts.
your algorithm is
Wait.
crazy,
Time
bro.
out, time out, time out, time out, time out.
Your
Hold up.
algorithm
Wait a
is
minute, wait
wild.
a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. Hold up.
That shit was
Nah.
crazy.
Wait a
That
minute.
shit was
Hold up.
crazy,
Wait.
bro.
Breezy. Hold on. I've been messing with your page for like 3 years, bro. Did you? Please didn't. I didn't hear what I just heard. You said they had a male Hooters HOOTERS.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was a skit or not, but the dude was like, "Yo, ain't women supposed to work here?" And the dude who had the little orange shorts, he was like, "Yo, what's your fucking
Yo,
problem,
what
man?"
the fuck?
Like, he's
Nah,
like,
if you
"What's your
Nah,
problem,
bro.
man? You like the order or not, or some shit like that." Shit is
Nah,
crazy,
see,
nah.
but
this
that's
is this
different.
new era.
That's different.
Nah,
You know
This
what I'm
this
that's
saying?
this
not
is this is this
that's
is this is
that's
yo. Like I
that's
look.
awkward. That's
Look,
not.
look, look. Hey, Jay, bro. Shout out to Jay Show, bro. On Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get on there later because I know it's gonna be some wild animalistic shit that's gonna go down. But I ain't gonna lie to you. But
He said that's awkward.
I'm gonna let everybody up in here know is man, we gotta avoid the left at all times, bro. And when I mean the left, it's like it's a bunch of shit on the internet, bro. That's just like, you could get paid for this, you could get paid for that. I'll let you know. Not one day, bro. Like, listen, I've been on this earth for 37 years, bro. Like, and I ain't gonna sacrifice no type of integrity to for no dollar, bro. I'm not, bro. Like if I made it this long without doing it, bro, why would I do it now? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's to the point. It's to the point where you like, in the internet is such a broad audience, and now you got Twitter and IG and all of these links, bro. Like it's like they want you. They want you to sell your soul. They want you to like go under. They want you to do the worst of the worst. That way, when real jobs come back up, bro, like they could say, yo, you was doing this back in like 20 something. I don't know, man. I don't know if he could mess with you. And all of the people that's doing that, that's on that left side shit, that's what they gonna run into, man. Like I'm like, yo, stop.
But not, but
Please stop.
what I learned about the internet is search for what you're interested in. If you leave it up to the algorithms
Oh,
to entertain you, bro, you're going, bro, that shit is tough because you'll
it
find
is.
and it swings your emotion. Like you could see big booty clapping, and then you'll see some type of murder or some shit, and then you'll see some type of somebody giving away $20, or and then it's like just all of these different emotions happening
All
within the
right, bro.
span of 5 minutes. It's like it can't be good for you. You know what I mean?
I'll let
You
you
gotta
know,
be
bro.
selective on what you
Just
see because they say it's like your stomach, your eyes is like your you know what I mean, your mouth to your brain. Like you gotta
yeah.
not see certain shit. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you'll normalize it, and you don't really
That's a
want to do
fact.
that.
Yeah, that is a
Uh,
fact. And to keep myself in a good state of mind. Right now, I'm watching a game that I should be on my page doing, but the New York Liberty is playing the Chicago Sky right now, so I'm not doing that shit. Angel Reese just missed like 5 straight layups in a row. I'm not doing this game, bro. Like I refuse, bro. Like this is ridiculous, bro. The New York
All
Liberty
right,
ain't
but
even being challenged
this,
right
this,
now.
this,
you
the,
gotta touch that,
this,
man.
this, the,
You
this,
gotta
the
touch that.
closeout right here. Everybody gonna close out. Let everybody know what they got going on, and then I'm about to go to Jay's show, basically. Go ahead, Leaf. Though, tell them what you got going on and where they can find you and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, youtube.com / at Lee 4788. I will be relocating in less than a month, man. I'm doing my, I guess what you could say, my Brooklyn farewell tour, man. Shout out to family, friends, and anybody that seen me, that know me, that interacted with me, or anybody that has been in interaction with me, man. I'm off to. I'm no longer gonna be a resident of the state of New York, bro. I'm gonna be out of here, man. I can't afford this shit. Cause if the Nets start winning, bro, we all gonna be fucked up anyway. So but shout out to everybody, man. Definitely, I got shows on there. Shout out to the ABS network. That helps me produce my videos at all times. Shout out to everybody over there. Also want to give a shout out to Showtime on Showtime Sports, Showtime On Point Sports, HTTV, man. Shout out to them. I'm always on their platforms where you can find me at, but it's youtube.com/athlete4788 and on Twitter as well. So appreciate it.
I appreciate. Yeah, no, that's all good. Appreciate that, Lee. Bright TV, talk to us, man. Where we can find you at?
Definitely, you can find me out on YouTube at Bright TV, where everything is lit. I got a lot of content from podcasting to music. Go check me out. Definitely, you can also get in contact with me on my Instagram page. Talk to me direct. That's Bright TV, where everything is lit as well. We here, man. I'm here for the movement, man. We definitely just gotta stick together because we really all we got.
Right.
We gotta promote what needs to be heard instead of what the, like you said, the algorithm is pushing. So
Facts.
that's the difference. We gotta sway what needs to be heard and stop letting them think that they just gonna take over what's getting pushed out here. That's the movement right now.
Right.
It's a salute to you, Brizzy, for having me on the show again, man. I had fun, man. I enjoyed myself. Go see Sinners because everybody's going to see a different perspective in that movie, and you could take a lot from that. You could take a lot.
Yeah,
from that.
Appreciate you. Yeah, you definitely. I told you're gonna be a recurring guest, man. This is a great show. Throw your link in the chat. If you don't do it now, when the video is over, just go to it on YouTube. Put your link in the chat so that way people can follow you there. I'll try to do a better job of putting the fans that have, that's content creators, link in the chat when like at the start of the show, or they can do it. Either way works. But y'all already know what it is, man. Big fan, Breezy. I am going to be back with more content possibly tonight. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely rocking with Jay at 9 o'clock. Different show, 9 o'clock. It's going to be on Instagram and it's going to be on TikTok. Right, Jay?
Word.
I'm going to try to get it on YouTube too. We're going to try to get it on YouTube. We're working on that right now. All right, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Dante Reeves for tuning in. Thank you, Lee, for tuning in. Bright TV. This is JTV. Until next time, Nets fans is the best fans. Peace, y'all.
Salute.